Okay, we're in progress here. About to describe a ridiculous thing. I seem to be having more and more of these ridiculosities happening. At first I thought it was a Windows problem, and because of the fact that, well, let's do this real quick. Let's also get rid of that. This is the first launching of Chrome since a cold boot, so it takes a moment. Oh, I don't need to type that in. It's right there. I did this for this very purpose. Okay, I did not buy this N.A.S. unit so that I could have what they used to call grist for the mill, meaning some reason to run something up the flagpole to see if anybody salutes or if anybody flips it off in this case. No, it's just a coinky-dink. But this is what we're trying to do here, and I'm only making this point because of the fact that I have some experience in this field, rather extensive. Been flying under the radar for many, many years, and now it's time to put my money where my mouth is, or conversely, I forget which way that goes. All right, let's see. I'll make this really simple. This is going to be. I'm concentrating on several different neural net channels at once here. Let's see if I can get my act together. Okay, so now we have 0 directories open. If we go here, you'll see that we have something called third level. This is the N.A.S. It's got a name. It's called third level because we are on the third level of the complex here. Excuse me. So I had done some shooting of our big screen television just to save time rather than try to figure out how to do anything directly. My wife wanted me to collect some recipes from a documentary that we have been watching. It's a 4.5-hour documentary called Foods That Cure. It's very, very good, by the way. It's on Amazon, anybody that might want to watch it. I have personally lost about 25 to 30 pounds in the last 35 days and brought my blood pressure down from a whopping 176 to 130/74, to much to the astonishment, I mean literally jaw-dropping astonishment of some rather major members of the medical academy here in California. So the old saying that food is medicine, I think it was Socrates or Aristotle or one of them dark Greek guys that said that. And most people realize that it's true, but they don't have a direct experience. And being a researcher, internet style, at professional grade level, really, I would echo the remarks of J.K. Simmons on the farmers' commercials. Well, we know a few things. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two. So that's all I'm going to say. And that's the background from which I come to this. All I'm really trying to do is to get some work done. All right. To finish my thought on that as we're moving ahead here, I'm having trouble finding things, recipes. Here we go. So I recorded these on my Galaxy phone just to save some time. So I have the long extruded recordings here, complete with all of my rants and raves, and not too many raves being a positive thing in this instance, but rants and railings. But this is the kind of thing I'm talking about. So we get T. Colin Campbell. So I shoot this right off the screen and just use the mic array in the camera and make sure it's quiet. And it's good enough to get these recipes. So in the process of, well, let's see. I'm trying to make this really simple and not overcomplicated. All drives. This means all the drives I've got hanging around here eventually, boop, beep, 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 they're going to show up on this N.A.S., but they're not in here yet, not by a long shot. These are going to be legacy drives. These are recent drives. This is a 2 terabyte drive that I used as a substitute for when my QNAP server died, and the QNAP people just hung me out to dry, and I was too busy to get my lawyer on the case, but that is still going to happen. So what I did is I came up with add-ons for this. This drive is essentially full. It's a 2 terabyte drive. There's hardly any room left on it. So I have the overflow here using the same file names for the folders or the directories. As you can see, finances, projects, software, yada, 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 profiles, health. All right. So in health, we have this thing called recipes. Inside of recipes, we have, hierarchically speaking, just like Steve Jobs ripped off from Park. All right. So I needed to rename these and take the numbers out and put in a description that I would be able to remember. And I want whoever's watching this to pay very close attention now. Let's say I want to take out and veggies with peanut sauce. Okay, let's see. So we would normally go here and go veggies with... Well, wait a minute. Knock it off. How dare you? Okay. All right, now I'm just going to click in here and not try to select anything. I'm clicking and putting the... Takes a little longer. It has to think. I have never seen anything like this in my 23, 24 years of rather extensive IT training, along with a few other things. I've been building computers now for much longer than I ever said that I would when I started out, meaning I said I would never do that. And now I've taken MacBook Pros apart and all the way down to bare metal and back. Not that I like doing it particularly, but I have the skill and capacity to do that. So, again, we know a few things because we've seen a few things. So I have never seen anything like this before. Well, immediately I thought it was going to be a Windows thing, and as I mentioned, and that's why I brought up the Velvet Doberman down here. Should have left them on the screen. And this is our TV show, as I mentioned, that we're working on. This needs to be changed. Got a little sideways there. But it's actually now kind of on the groundswell. So I'll leave that in case I need to refer back to it. So again, I've done some stuff under the radar, not done any SEO on this as yet, but there are interested parties network-wise looking for sponsors and so on. So again, I'm mentioning that because of the fact that I have the experience. This is not to make anybody wrong or rattle any cages at all. All I want is my GD server to work, for which I spent a lot of money. It's got, it is a DS 1517 Plus with currently 2 N.A.S. drives from Western Digital, the Reds 5400 RPM drives, the ERFXs or whatever the heck they are, that just, of course, naturally just swooped up in price within the past couple of months. This unit has only been online now about, I think, less than 6 months. And I have one of the drives that has 56 blocks of errors, which is a whole different kettle of fish. I won't even get into that. But that needs to be regarded and parsed through and looked into as well. But this is something that I can't handle. There's so many damn things, mostly with Windows, that get in the way. And well, for example, only recently I was able to cure the fact that I was unable to double-click on, let's see, one of these archival folders here. So I just double-clicked on it. That was due to many hours of intense study and going to discussion groups and so on. Also discussion groups. I'm just being tired and rummy, actually, is the old expression. Up until about a week ago, I would have to open it from here, which is just another series of damnable things that I have to do, what they call side work in the restaurant business, where you fill the ketchup bottles and the salt and pepper shakers and put the dishes in the dishwasher and so on. Side work. too much side work, TMSW. This is how I had to open them. I fixed that, so now I can double click. But I still haven't had the time to look into another problem, which is where is the new folder and text option here? I want a new folder. Well, I can't do it from here. Have always been able to, but no, can't do it today. How about a new text file? There's in the drop down, there's a new, and then as you go out to the side, and anybody who's dealt with Windows will know what I'm talking about. So now we have this. This is my only way, workaround. I suppose somebody might really enjoy this, so I'll just pop it up there really quickly. One of my memes that I have up on Pinterest. Big shout out to Redmond for this wonderful term. What's Redmond? Well, Redmond, I've decided, is a 150,000 personality person, individual, or more like a gestalt mechanism. All the employees that exist in the geographical area around this vicinity, Redmond, that is, are first name Redmond, last name Washington. So we can call him Red Washington. Has a ring to it, right? Very difficult person to deal with because of the 150,000 different personalities. And we're going to have, I just blanked on her name again. A wonderful actress that did a program called The United States of Terror, so you can Google it if you want. So we're going to have her do the movie version and play, kind of like Tracy Ullman can play a man. We're going to have Toni Collette. We're going to have Toni play Red Washington with 150,000 personalities. The United States of Terror was about a multiple personality woman, and it was a dark comedy, but it was funny. All right, so enough of this jazz. Let's get back to the problem. I can't work with this. I can't deal with it. I need to be able to rename files without having to stop and, oh, come on. This is when it first started happening. That's what I was saying. Okay, give me a Brucking fake. Huh? All right. There was a workaround. Remember workaround here? I don't like that word. It's totally unnecessary. I am starting a new YouTube channel. I have one already. It's getting more popular all the time, but this one's going to be, quote, it doesn't have to be this way, unquote. That's one of actually 2 or 3 new channels that I'm going to be popping onto YouTube within the next 5 to 6 months, maybe sooner. So the workaround, as I said, is this. So you get your cursor in here, and as long as you hit the space bar, bam, quickly enough. You hear that click? That was a real quick smash cut there on the space bar. Now I can do things. If I want to change my mind, you would think that it will have learned its lesson. Everything is okay now. Not. So I have to act fast. I have to know what I'm going to do, and bam. If I'm not fast enough, do you see what happens? I hit delete or backspace. Let's say that I just want to get rid of that jazz that I put in there. I select it and I hit the backspace. I'm okay. But let's say that, well, all right, I'm going to have to do that again just to make my point. So there's the jazz, right? Pop this in here, but I get distracted for a moment. Oh, it's not going to do it now. And why is that? See, no consistency even. All right, there we go. Let's say that I get distracted, but I think I'm fast enough, and I hit the backspace because I'm looking down to find the key to hit, and the whole GD thing goes away. So you can see it does not take rocket science. Yes, thanks a lot. In this case, Windows is right for once. So you see what I'm saying. This is, it's idiotic. It's not acceptable. Is the problem with Windows, or is the problem on the Synology side? Problem is on the Synology side, and I will have to do this. See, now I can't even get rid of the garbage that I put in here. Garbage in, garbage stay. If I do it fast, bam, gone. Nope. Give me, this is asinine, man. Whoever I'm saying man to. All right, so if I hit spacebar, now I can backspace out of this, and it'll stick. How about that for side work? I can't work that way, and nobody can. Not at the rate of speed that I think and that I work at, and that I need to progress in. It just completely destroys one's workflow and neural net concentration. Bam, it's just decimated right there on the spot. AK-47. All right, so what was I saying? And to finish this off, because we're at 15 minutes already, and I don't want to run too far over the edge of the world like Jack Sparrow and his rickety old ship. I went to another computer station, fully expecting that I'm going to find out that this T410 Lenovo laptop, the one that will not allow me to put forth a new folder or a new text file without resorting to this and making a copy, first of all, finding it, because of course these move, right? So I got to scan up and down. Oh, there it is. Copy it, make a new copy, paste it there, and now I got myself something I can use. Idiotic, obviously. No time to figure it out, and there are more than enough people out there to be happy to have me go diddle around in the registry and completely muck up the machine, infinitely worse than it is right now. And nobody's more aware of that than probably you and myself as well. So it's not Windows, folks. Sorry. I go to another T410 Lenovo across my studio over here. As the only connection is the network connection. So if there's any network culpability here, it's going to be in the network connection. I don't see how that could really affect this rather bizarre anomaly that we're seeing here with the inability to deal with file names in a rational and sane way. So what I'll do tomorrow, now that I've demonstrated what the problem is, how I got here, what I was doing before I got here, and so on, I'll use the Galaxy phone and shoot directly off of this screen right here, meaning the one to the right here that you can't see, and then the one across the way that I mentioned, and you will see this same phenomenon duplicated. And then I'll go downstairs where we have 3 or 4 other computer systems, and let's say we'll do 4 at the most, and I fully expect that the problem is going to be duplicated, replicated actually I should say, if we're going to use 4 systems. And I am real tired now. I don't need to be doing this, and there's just too many damn things getting in the way of getting work done. I've got a lot of work to do that with this show that I just demonstrated, and also a Hollywood version of a Broadway show which could become a motion picture and a franchise if all things go well. And there's also a teaching syllabus, I guess you could call it, for 6-string bass players who are having trouble getting up the learning curve. It's called Bass Logic, and I'm working on that. So I have 3 major thrusts, and I have to have things that work. And that's about the size of it. This ain't working. No way can I get work done. So let me double check and see, make sure my settings are good here. No webcam. We're saving the audio tracks. We certainly are. And I think I meant to be doing AVIs and then handbraking them down. But we'll deal with it somehow. All right, that's it for now. Velvet Doberman out on 03210.